Hello, just to double check. Okay, yes, right mic. Hello, people. I am fucking exhausted from work. I'm. I've been sitting and staring at the screen for a couple of hours, and I'm just like, oh, what to do, what to do, what to do. And now it's just like, yeah, fuck it, let's play some Rogue Trader.
Lord Captain, I hasten to report the disturbing news brought to me by the machine spirits of the ship. The matter is extremely delicate and concerns Lady Cassia. You see, since her first day aboard, her presence has been a disturbance to the crew's way of life. If you'll allow, I have prepared a detailed report.
Voiceman must come to terms with all her oddities and presses, and those who cannot deliver your report.
The first incident occurred immediately after our departure from Yorick V. The Lady Navigator chastised one of the ship's runners, after which he went to his living quarters, killed his family, and then shot himself. The second incident was noted while traversing the warp. The Lady Navigator gave the pilots the wrong instructions and the void ship was thrown off course, for a matter of minutes, but this was enough for the forces of the Immatrium to anger the machine spirits enough for them to start a fire in the service bay. After that, officers living near the Lady Navigator's quarters began to express extreme emotions: hysteria, apathy, euphoria, rage. This is quite detrimental to crew morale and performance. The last incident was recorded on Footfall. Around 100 living birds were delivered on board during our stay on Footfall. Each bird cost a hefty sum, but I have failed to discover their purpose and subsequent fate. I was also told about a conflict between the Lady Navigator and the Seneschal. Alas, with no details. If you like, you can ask Master Viserion directly. If I may, Lord Captain, the Lady Navigator's state of mind worries me. She is self-contained and does not mesh with the crew at all, which is why everyone avoids her. Even senior officers can be superstitious. I fear that only you are in a position to talk to her on an equal footing and improve the situation. For the sake of the crew's safety, and that of Lady Cassia herself. The warp jump went surprisingly smoothly. None of the deck officers on duty reported any incidents. However, a strange discovery awaited the Lord Captain when he returned to his quarters. The bed was unmade, and the impression of a head was still visible on the pillow. There were no other signs of intrusion. The guards swore under oath that nobody had entered Lord Captain's quarters.
So, first off, she won't be accepted by the crew, period, if it goes lore accurate. Navigators are shunned in the lore, like heavily shunned. They are looked upon as mutants by the common man.
The magnetic storm raging above the planet blurs the gaze of auger arrays. Only truly powerful diviner machines may see through the currents of magnetic fluctuations in their blessed vigil and discover the mysteries of this emperor-forsaken planet.
The only ones that talk to navigators in a reasonable way is other navigators. Why? Because there's some weird stuff going on there, but to put it simply, they see normal humans as below them, so they don't want to talk to them. That is the really simplified version of why they behave upstock and noble.
The ruins of an ancient imperial city were discovered on a dead world completely deprived of an ecosystem. According to the reports, the entire settlement is contained in a titanic glass dome that once held an artificial atmosphere. Your augurs detected the framework of 3 other similar structures that were never completed. For whatever reason, the dome's systems failed, and left behind is this city, a ghost that never managed to become a proper colony of the Imperium.
Explore the local palace.
A lavishly decorated estate of the local ruler towers over rows of featureless bunkhouses. Several explorers perished from the cleverly hidden tripwires in the courtyard, but after losing their companions, the team easily disarmed the remaining traps in the estate. Anything of value has been promptly delivered to the rogue trader's vessel. The Lord Captain was even given an exquisite sword found in a secret cache that once belonged to the mansion's owner.
Explore the Temple
The
District?
Temple District is situated at the heart of the city. The God Emperor's statue, intricately carved from precious crystal, is suspended beneath the dome, supported by chains of gold, and can be seen from anywhere in the colony. Inspired by the majestic sight, the expedition members set off to explore the area with renewed vigor. Soon enough, they stumbled upon an ancient weapon lying on a pedestal wreathed in sunlight. The expedition brought it back to the ship and told many tales about how the Emperor himself, who had been watching them from above, had directed their attention to the sacred relic.
Scout and gathers as much supplies as possible.
Your people flooded the city like a tidal wave, filled building after building, bunkhouse after bunkhouse, and receded from its quiet streets just as quickly. There were plenty of useful things among their findings, including foodstuffs and weapons.
Drain the remaining fuel from the generator station. The city won't need them anymore.
It takes several trips to deliver the massive promethium storage tanks to your vessel. The crew grimly points out the colony was running out of fuel. Had the life support systems not failed prematurely, the locals would still have perished due to lack of energy.
And now we have an item that makes it now we can actually literally we could actually put that on her. I usually do that, but that makes it so we have 100% hit chance with bolters with single attacks, and that's not bunkers at all. Absolutely not. 7. I am really tempted to respec my character to make it into switch out officer for soldier and go crazy build with him.
Lord Captain, permission to address you with a request. Our head chirurgeon is sabotaging the ship's operations. He has quarantined several Voidsman crews on account of a piddling sickness. People don't even go to the meat bay when they come down with it. They just wipe their noses and keep working. Only a dozen or so die from it in a whole year. We're sitting on our hands here, so I ask you to talk some sense into him. Your vox clicks, and you hear a dry, nonchalant response. Greetings, your lordship. My name is Lettered Forius, and I am the chirurgeon majoris of this vessel. As your chief medici specialist, I assure you that the quarantine is well warranted. This piddling sickness has claimed the lives of a number of meritorious officers in the past. This time, I intend to get the epidemic under control, study the disease thoroughly, and develop a proper cure.
Okay.
I hope you will agree that a single period of downtime is a small price to pay for the number of lives that will be saved and the increase in the crew's performance during other such outbreaks in the future. Not to mention the fact that we won't have to waste stimulants due to the afflicted using them as a crutch to offset their limited work capacity.
How do you intend to study this disease?
By gathering enough infected individuals together, letting the illness progress, comprehending its properties, and, finally, killing it. The disease goes through several stages, with each containing clues to its nature and vulnerabilities. The Voidsman will have to stay sick for some time until I discover the cure, assuming, of course, that the disease is reversible in its final stages.
Voidsmen are to be treated, put back to work. If you want test subject, 10 masters on to provide you with the required numbers of convict and other riffraff.
This may limit the potential of the study, but this approach is also acceptable. I will make up for the lack of material with my expertise. Thank you for taking your crew's health into consideration. Should you require my services, you may find me on the bridge, your lordship. Lord Captain, I bring dire news. A feud has broken out between the clans that maintain the Void Shield arrays. Rumor has it that the late Lady Theodora was seen on the lower decks, and so one of the families called for a rebellion against the usurper of the Void Ship. That is, you. So far, no one believes their mad tales, but unrest has begun at the fringes of the compartments. The ship's enforcers are ready to eliminate the instigating clan or pacify the entire Void Shield crew. The decision is yours.
Find the source of the rumors and punish those responsible. I don't want any unnecessary deaths.
Lord Captain, as Seneschal Viserion would say, there are no innocents in such cases. The clans are endangering the entire Void ship, tussling over a strange and obviously false rumor. If you so desire, I will convey your wishes to the enforcers later, but right now the unrest must be stopped, and the people returned to their direct duties or replaced.
Destroy the rebellious clan and find a replacement among the neighboring crews.
I'll see to it, Lord Captain.
Okay, so we got to the triple system over here. I don't remember like each and every system independently, honestly. I am not dealing with that right now. That I'm not dealing with right now. For the simple reason, I do not feel like I'm Augur Anomaly. Oh, it's the bottomless pit. Spark to you. Yeah, no.
Inside the containers are the remnants of stones and frescoes depicting a black spot surrounded by structures of some sort.
That is... yeah, it has a few psyker things
Knowledge
here.
is the key to everything, is it not, esteemed Magos?
I learned this wisdom from your fellow priests, and it has helped
These ancient
me many
cogitators
times.
are long dead. Despite this, the covers of the machines are still intact. It seems unlikely that the inner parts were ruined by the elements, so they could still prove useful.
This is out of the ordinary.
These ancient cogitators are long dead. Despite this, the covers of the machines are still intact. It seems unlikely that the inner parts were ruined by the elements, so they could still prove useful.
But why can't I...
The Divine watches over us.
Data slate... We're collecting it, I don't really care about it. Awareness...
The barely noticeable words in shaky handwriting read, "Touch the darkness, and the darkness will accept you."
Yeah, no, fuck that. We're a man of faith. We do not touch the darkness. We follow the Emperor's light. That's what we do. Yes. I'm not dealing with that right now. For a simple reason, I don't want to deal with it right now. Plans right now is this. We are going to look at our colonies. Colony management. It's halfway finished. Okay, that's good. Plan is to head back to...
Lord Captain, we have an emergency. We have received word that there has been a sighting on the lower decks. The messages we have received are incomplete and vague, little more than yelling and hysterical claims. There are reports of casualties and unrest. The compartment in question has already been sealed off, but I thought you might want to look into what's going on for yourself. The situation is delicate and what's especially disturbing, there are mentions of Idira class being present at the scene.
I will deal with it personally. I need the exact location.
Right away, Lord Captain. The instrument terminal, an important part of the compartment's internal infrastructure, appears to be in.
And who now deigns to grace us with their presence? Another gaggle of heretics and traitors thirsting to get their due for what they've done? Or is it the leader himself, who has finally grown tired of hiding behind others?
Theodora von Valancius is before you, and she looks grotesque. A hole yawns wide in her chest, rusted hooks protrude from beneath her skin, and a lumpen, inflamed scar cuts across her throat. The figure flickers, as though it is dropping in and out of this reality. She looks at you with the whitish eyes of a corpse and smiles venomously.
Rogue traitor. We meet at last. I had grown tired of waiting for you to pay me a visit.
Theodora's look is appraising, and her mocking tone turns to one of distaste.
Indeed, centuries of selfless toil and effort, and everything I left behind has gone to this non-entity.
Argenta's eyes spark with fury.
Warp illusion. Begone. Argenta, my dear, there's no need to make such a fuss. Why don't we sit down over a cup of recaf like we used to? I'll listen to your rapturous tales of sacred relics, portents, and your special path. You must have been so lonely without me here. No one else is willing to listen to your ravings, or help you with your childish treasure hunt.
Theodora laughs melodiously, almost without mockery. At the sight of the terrifying Theodora, Abelard's face turns sickly pale.
Throne spare us from the cursed apparitions of the archenemy.
Is that what you are truly praying for? I can hear how fast your heart is pounding, Verserian. I think deep down you hope this apparition never ends. You are not Daemon Theodora.
Cabela's eyes blaze with fury.
The Undying One does not relinquish the souls that come to him, such is the absolute truth. You are a thief of names. Foolish child. Your world is limited to the darkness of the lower decks and the words of your Vizier. You know nothing of truth or death. You do not even know the first thing about yourself.
Theodora's voice is dripping with venomous condescension. The strike passes through Theodora, who simply laughs scornfully.
So that's how you greet your great predecessor, boy. Bonds stronger than the laws of life and nature are holding me in this world. You will find it somewhat harder to get rid of me a second time.
We already have met.
Of course, boy, for it was I who gave the order to bring you here, to my ship. Oh, how I rue that decision now. And how I regret heeding the advice of my seneschal.
Abelard whispers hurriedly to you.
How can this be? It is the same vision as on the officer's deck, and yet entirely different. Why does it not remember that meeting? And, why does it remember what the real Lady Theodora did?
Alas, my glorious voyage through life was ended in the dullest possible way, by death. A nuisance I staved off as long as I could. But do not weep for me, my boy, I am still keeping an eye on my property. And punishing all those who failed me.
Theodora bares her rotten teeth in a snarl, her laughter piercing.
Oh fuck. Fucking wasps. You're not Theodora. Theodora is dead. There's no coming back from that.
I'm dead? How is that? I am no different from those who have not yet crossed the divide between reality and eternity. I see. I speak. I remember the wrongs you all committed against me. And for all those who failed me, I have already begun exacting my retribution. I truly am Theodora, the remnants of herself that she left behind in this world. I am an echo of her memories preserved in the minds of those who cared for her. I am the taste of tears spilled for the unsaid and the undone. I am the terror of she who failed to turn the tide of fate and who refuses to look truth in the face. I am as real as the human passions that bring worlds to ruin.
If you are Theodora, then tell me. I'll kill you.
Oh, wouldn't you like to know the answer to that question? I don't even know which would be more satisfying, to give you an honest answer or leave you to languish in your ignorance. We'll see how you conduct yourself, little boy.
Where is Idra? What have you done with her?
Me. What have I done with Idira?
Theodora laughs mockingly.
All I did was turn that little mud from the fringes into a true servant of the Imperium. I gave her toys, I cleaned up after her antics, I provided her with everything she could ever dream of. Oh, I had great plans for poor little Idira.
Theodora wearily rolls her eyes.
Matters are so dire that the pleas of one of my servants breached death's veil to reach my ears, How could I ignore such a desperate cry for help, and from my little Adira, no less? And, once I appeared here, of course I had to meet the pretender who has allowed this deplorable state of affairs.
I will send you back into the abyss you crawled out of.
You. Of all the people to ever threaten me, you are the most pathetic, boy. All that you possess now was given to you in error. You are unworthy of such a generous gift and you are incapable of holding on to it. I am here to seek retribution against all who failed me. My brainless crew. My useless officers. My pathetic servants, who turned their backs on their mistress in her darkest hour. And worst of all, you, my dear heir. You, who have undeservedly claimed the warrant and everything else that is mine. I will drag it all to the warp with me, including you.
Okay, so what do we have? What do we have?
The lines on the
I
screen
did
look
it.
fuzzy, as though the cogitator's readout system or data storage has been damaged.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Labored, stuttering growls and periodic rattling comes from beneath the casing.
I remember being somewhere around here. There you are, my little coward. You won't look at your captain, Idra. Idera. It's wrong, it's all wrong. Utterly trapped in her visions. Madra.
Lord Captain?
Idira turns her head to you, but her demented gaze only rests briefly on your face before sliding away. Up close you can see that the base of one of Idira's temple implants has blackened and melted.
No, wait, Lord Captain, Lady von Valencius.
Idira raises her eyes to Theodora, who stands before her. Tears stream down Idira's cheeks.
You came back.
Theodora clucks her tongue in sympathy, reaching out to tenderly stroke Idira's hair.
Poor little Adira. There, how could I not come? You were crying for me so desperately, your pleas carried to the very depths of the warp itself.
The smile suddenly drops from her mutilated face.
Why didn't you save me? Why didn't you warn me? Answer me, you insignificant wretch, or I'll drag the answer out of you myself.
Theodora's fingers dig into Idira's scalp, meeting no resistance. Idira lets out a soul-chilling howl and tries to grab the hand tearing into her, but her fingers pass through the monster's flesh.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything that could have had anything to do with you. I'm sorry, Lord Captain, I failed.
Idira breaks into a strangled scream and you feel the air around you grow rapidly colder. Argenta wordlessly swings her weapon up and aims it at Idira, who is struggling in the monster's hold. The Sister of Battle looks at her without an ounce of doubt or mercy.
Dogmatic, let's attempt to act.
1 second, and Idira's body sags to the floor. At the same moment, you hear a terrifying sound, shrill and piercing laughter.
Emperor grant her.
Abelard stops short, staring at the body unblinkingly for a few seconds, before turning away. The figure of the cackling Theodora von Valencius shudders and begins to change form.
At last you begin to understand how important it is to promptly dispose of trash. But you've learned your lesson too late. Too late.
Oh, don't worry. Go next, pink horror.
I will cast you into eternal darkness.
You asked for it.
flashes are choking me.
Emperor, protect me.
The shadows come. The other side awaits.
For now. Look out.
I will not die in dishonor.
If I may,
Okay, so can't really do that much damage to you yet.
Doubt is for the weak.
Okay, that
Faith
works.
without deeds is worthless.
This not that great, but hey.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
I am a navigator, not a
What
servitor.
is that melting? Okay.
This way.
I feel nothing. Fear nothing.
Don't touch me.
Mutant. Okay.
Aim for the heart next time.
I can handle this.
Okay.
Rejoice, you have been judged and found wanting.
Okay. Good.
I will not be deterred. Actions will speak louder than words.
Killing brings me no pleasure. I shall not fail. As honor ordained, death is a blessing. As the tenets demand.
Okay, he did.
Rejoice in service.
Come, the other side awaits.
Okay, he died. Can't charge you.
I will do my duty. At your beck and call.
And then we do that.
It will be done.
I'll do it.
What's going on with you? Whatever it is, it's not good. And then switch to
creations of the Omnissiah. Tech familiar activated.
okay.
From the ashes, I will rise.
Okay, that's not good. Ouch.
I feel nothing. Fear nothing. The shadows will killing brings me no pleasure.
I'll do what it takes.
That's bullshit.
a job for the serfs?
And so shall it be done.
You did 59 damage?
I will not be deterred.
Well, parried? Okay, fair enough.
Emperor, give me strength. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
And so shall it be done. I won't suffer this. Rejoice in service!
No. No, we shoot him.
Actions will speak louder than words. And so it shall
And we
be
heal
done.
you a bit. It's not much, but it's something.
Indeed.
And you got fucking parried.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful. Running by Nerek alone. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
Okay.
The Omnissiah condemns you.
I honor
Ouch.
his contempt. I can still
Ouch.
fight. Don't you dare give up now.
Fucking bullshit.
I will not. Death whispers my name.
The Emperor commands. Rejoice in service.
I will do like you want. Viewer target. Victory is imminent.
I think Avalon is the only one who's going to be standing in the end of this fucking combat.
At your beck and call.
Like the usual. Actually managed to pull off parry.
If this is my death, may my blood be a worthy sacrifice. Trust me. Ha! Come, the other side awaits.
Lock in our ranks.
Ablard just standing there like bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit.
Reduced to dust. Indeed.
You know what? We're just going to do that. It's just you left.
I took care of this one.
Abelard the fucking boss.
Lord Captain. The Vox Master's voice shakes traitorously. I received a report that the shooting on the lower deck had stopped. I presume you have brought the situation under control. Awaiting further instructions.
I eliminated the problem. Neither Idra nor the ghost of the department Theodora will trouble us again. See to it that the bodies on the lower deck are disposed of.
For a moment the airwaves are filled with something that sounds somewhat like breathing, somewhat like ordinary interference. Of course, Lord Captain.
I don't like that.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Unlocked.
Laboratory is blessed with multifunctionality.
Bonus dodge until... I don't like killing off characters like that, but it's...
Instead of regular symbols and numbers, the screens display slanted script, almost resembling handwriting, in an unknown language.
Know your duty.
It makes sense for the character I'm playing. He's a commissar. He's used to killing his own troops who doesn't fulfill their duty. So it kind of goes with the character I'm playing, but yeah, no, it's not really the way I play it. Or the way I enjoy playing it. I have to say, the way I play it is very iconoclast. If I actually get to decide how to play, or if I play, it is very iconoclast.
Lord Captain?
I hear you had an exchange of words recently. What happened?
And who brought this piece of news to you, I wonder? Then again, I have nothing to hide from you. Of late, the helmsmen have been going off course with increasing frequency, and the reports are full of contradicting accounts. The problem continued, even after several demotions were handed out, so I took it upon myself to investigate. I was astonished to learn that our Lady Navigator has been amending entries in the ship's log, and the officers have been keeping silent on her orders. I immediately demanded an end to the outrageous conduct, and I reprimanded Lady Cassir in front of the officers. She greeted my words with silence, and then quickly departed. I should not have acted thus. I never even found out what drove her to do it.
Okay.
Lord Captain.
Okay, let's talk to Cassia. She's here, right?
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
I've heard rumors about you not getting along with the crew.
Panic flashes in her ruby red eyes, and your heart starts beating a little faster while your hands go cold.
Not here. I'm begging you. Aren't noblemen supposed to discuss such things away from the servants?
Let's go to my study. No one will disturb us there.
Then lead the way.
What is it you wanted to talk about, Lord Captain? I have nothing to say to your unfounded accusations about my conflicts with the crew. I cannot recall my having a single quarrel with any of your people during my entire time aboard.
You have willfully changed entries in the ship's logbook, forbid officer to report it to Abelard.
I beg to differ. I read numerous books on astronators and can swear on House Orselio's honor that your officers are entering data in complete contravention of regulation. False terms, random distances between lines, spelling mistakes in even the simplest of words. I have spent the last few cycles correcting the latest log entries, and I thought it would please Master Abelard, as he is so fond of order. And yet the seneschal did not appreciate my efforts and for some reason called them an outrage. Even though mere days before he had been swaddling me in warm yellow words, I noticed all your people do this when they are expressing sympathy. I merely wanted to repay the seneschal with the same courtesy. Perhaps he finds my friendliness off-putting?
The messenger you butchered his family. During the warp voyage, you gave the wrong order, which led the vessel to shifting off course and the service bay being destroyed.
I saw something in the warp. Something, vast. Predatory. Shimmering with indescribable colors. It came from nowhere and stared at the ship with hundreds of hungry eyes, right there in our path. I decided to change the course while it was still possible but did not want to so panic. Would it have been better to tell the crew we were heading straight into a monster's gaping maw?
Think I've heard enough.
Will you share your thoughts with me?
You have a kind soul, but you have a difficult reaching out to people. Terrible things. Woes dogs your step, but we will find a way to defeat them. I promise.
Your kindness knows no bounds, Harold.
Cassia lowers her silver eyelashes.
I will endeavor not to cause you any more trouble. Very well. Since we are done with this misunderstanding, I would like to change the subject. It would only be fair for me to ask you a few questions now, wouldn't it?
Cassia hesitates and continues in a less confident tone.
Do not mistake me, I am not going to accuse you of anything. It's just that, you are the most worthy interlocutor on the entire ship. And you are always so busy.
What would you like to ask?
I read a treatise by Paisius de Mabius very recently, who claimed that subjects would never believe their new ruler was better than the old one unless the old one had been a tyrant. No matter the circumstances, the low-born rabble become deluded about their prospects and rebel in favor of their base desires. What do you make of that?
Your interpretation of the classical text is not entirely correct. If the subjects has grown accustomed to the ruling house, all sovereign must do is refrain from breaching the long-standing tradition. Adjust unwanted laws as gradually as you would shift the bed of a flooded river. No one will ever take your power from you.
Cassia thinks for a moment and then smiles.
Indeed. I was not wrong about your merits, or your ability to hold a conversation. I hope my second question does not confound you either. According to the 20 tomes penned by the preacher Eustachius Stephan the Forgotten, mercy and cruelty go through the world hand in hand, but people flock only to one pen of the scales. Would you rather inspire fear in your followers, or be magnanimous and choose awe?
One must be a tyrant, a friend, a jester to one's subject. What matters is that they clearly discern which role is required at a given moment.
There is so much power in your words, power that makes me want to join you. I understand now why your subjects are eager to follow you. I admit I was afraid we were too different. And yet, you helped me realize that I can be candid with you.
Please continue.
I must confess that sometimes I can hardly bear the burden the house has placed upon me. I feel I am not doing my best. Tell me how you, heir to a protectorate, can bear the responsibility for billions of lives day after day and not stoop under all the weight?
It is not always easy, but I try to lead my dynasty toward. The inner turmoil is clouding your mind. My protectorate, my subjects, my title are mere resources that I'm using solely for my own ends. It's not always easy, but I try to lead the dynasty towards prosperity. Oh, sorry. Oh. I don't fucking know what to pick here, honestly. It's my duty whether I like it or not. That is the most commissar answer.
Thank you for your patience, Harold. You are helping me to see the world in different colors, a novel experience for me. Our conversations hold a special place in my heart. Allow me to bid you farewell for now. I am heading back to my chambers to consider today's conversation.
Quest completed. Fuck, we're almost 20. Hugin, how are you doing?
A fierce battle is unfolding on Hugin's perch. The giant bird's two heads have clashed in a bitter fight. It is impossible to determine the cause of this conflict, but you feel certain you should intervene.
Goad the living head. That's it. Teach that box of cogs a lesson. Cease this at once.
Your stern voice has an immediate effect, and the fighting stops. Nevertheless, the living bird continues to shoot looks of deep-seated hatred at its servo-twin.
You are one of the most noble creatures made by human hands that I've ever seen. Do you know that?
Hugin responds with a nod of calm dignity and a clack of the hooked beak. The second, mechanical head repeats the living one's gesture.
Why don't you go for a quick hunt?
Both of Hugin's heads let out a fearsome cry. Beating its wings, the mighty bird takes flight. When the eagle returns to its perch, it drops a trophy on the floor, a severed arm. You notice shipgang symbols tattooed across the wrist. This limb belonged to one of the lawbreakers who torment righteous servants of the rogue trader and often descend into outright heresy. It seems your companion has reminded the presumptuous rabble about the consequences of disobeying the law of the Imperium.
Oh, the eagle a treat.
The creature's living head jerks forward and catches your offering. The mechanical head, free of the deficiencies of the flesh, remains entirely unmoved.
You circle around the deck and stretch your wings. Let the crew inspired by your majesty.
The eagle returns looking somewhat ruffled after its long and swift flight over the bridge and the officer's deck. It flaps its wings a few times, then settles comfortably onto its perch.
Make the sign over there, Aquila.
Hugin lets out a piercing cry, wings outstretched. It seems the eagle understands the meaning of the sacred gesture perfectly and has decided to bless you in return.
Okay. Hugin and Moonin. Okay, so where are we? We've been going at it for 47 minutes. It feels like 2 hours. My head is currently trying to kill me, I think. Following a Foulstone, new stage of development. Okay.
Lord Captain, the world of Foulstone has been upset by a conflict between the followers of the Order of the Hammer and the refugees from the Winterscale dynasty's domain. An argument broke out near the tomb of the renowned holy man Nicomedes Keefe, and the tomb was damaged in the fray. The pilgrims revering Keefe's rival, Philopimens of Malpi, claim Keefe to be a thief who had stolen the relics of Saint Cognatius and violated the sacred mystery of his resting place to sate his greed. The Order of the Hammer is furious at the heretical statements and the desecration of Keefe's burial site.
Who is this Nicodemus and Philopimens, and what is the issue here?
Saint Nicomedes Keefe is a missionary who arrived in the Expanse alongside the founders of the Order of the Hammer, offering them valuable guidance for colonizing Foulstone. He converted many worlds to the Imperial Creed, but his most famous feat was his search for the burial site of the legendary preacher, Saint Cognatius, who conquered the Expanse thousands of years ago, leaving behind scores of relics. Keefe was able to track down some of those relics. The order was named after the power hammer of Saint Cognatius, Piety's charge. Philopimens of Malpi is a priest from Winterscale's realm. He preached in the same times as Nicomedes Keefe and denounced him for the false veneration of Saint Cognatius. He believed that Cognatius preached the incomprehensibility of the highest wisdom to the people, and that any attempts to learn it would only lead to heresy. He called the search for Saint Cognatius's burial site blasphemy and the collection of relics looting and soliciting. In his opinion, the sacred objects should not be congregated in one place but should find haven across the many worlds. The relics are power, and their aggregation gives way to pride.
What does my advisor say?
For a group that has just arrived in a foreign realm, the Malpians' conduct is insolent at best. Penance should be imposed on them. We will send them on a pilgrimage to find the relics of Saint Cognatius and to learn the ways of Saint Keefe. In this way, they would be of use for returning the lost relics, and the Order of the Hammer would be satisfied with a just verdict. There was a similar theological dispute at the Fifth Ophelian Council, and the conflict between the two cults was resolved in sacred duel. 20 champions from each side came forward, both sides vowing to accept the victor's teachings if they lost. I propose to invoke the council's edict and settle the dispute in the same way. They believe that their faith is superior. Then let them prove it. Subject them to a severe test of faith. If they survive it, they will have proven their steadfastness. Even if the Order of the Hammer does not accept their arguments, it will be easier for them to recognize the newcomer's right to interpret the way of Saint Cognatius if they prove it with their own blood and pain. The Malpians have renounced the concept of possession. Their vows are true and similar to ours, but they lack humility and reverence for the dead. The blood-spun web could embrace their leaders. We could teach them. We could soothe the turmoil.
Moving through a cell living. Okay, that actually... The Malphite preachers belong to the Bloodfang Mom now. Bring them aboard. Ooh, Soul Pattern Sword. Chief Order of the Hammer. Let them bring forth their representatives and try negotiating some coexistence. No, you shall allow the Malphite to prove their strength in the conviction through severe faith trials. Whenever the wearer deals damage with a melee attack, they gain 4 temporary health. The wielder's melee attack deal additional... What?
Malpian Shroud.
Deal additional temporary divided by 2. Okay, so that's actually cool. Blade Dancer Greaves. Moving through. Cells affected by blood drain, blood vial. Cost aware, 50% less movement. Honestly, I think we take him aboard. Fuck it, we take him aboard. But they lack for the dead blood. Web could embrace their leader, we could teach them. Yep.
From this day forth, these people serve the Undying One. A grim and solemn procession of preachers came aboard and made a vocal renunciation of their former lives. Disturbed by the loss of their spiritual leaders, the refugees quieted down and no longer defied the Order of the Hammer. The Order of the Hammer thanked the Lord Captain for his protection and staying true to the agreements between them.
Touched by holiness, coherency, that doesn't shut off anything for me. Adherent, dogmatic. That doesn't shut off anything for me either. That gives me another profit factor. How much profit factor are we up to? We're up to 25 profit factor. So all allies increase their wound by Lore of Imperium. Most important one right now would be this. Yep. Because we get another profit factor, we actually get reputation. And we are going to warp. We're going to make it yellow. And we're going to warp travel back to Falstone.
The steady rhythm of life aboard the vessel was disrupted when, on the 4th watch of the voyage, the lower decks had their gravity reversed. The stunned denizens of the afflicted sectors were woken up by being torn from their assigned beds and tossed onto the ceiling. Numerous injuries and fatalities were reported. The difficulties in performing regular duties due to the gravity reversal continued until the end of the journey. After the ship exited the warp, the gravity returned to the accepted norm, an event that once again was accompanied by deaths and injuries among the crew.
Okay. So, we are back to Foulstone for one simple reason. We now have enough materials so we can get a few ship pieces.
A familiar voice cuts through the hissing of the Vox channel. Greetings.
Reputation. Select tradable. Okay, it didn't go all the way up, but we got one rank. Morse battery, already have that one. Ship components. Add to cargo. We don't have enough. And we're going back to Footfall. Void Dock, different stories. I want to check a few things. I want to check, from my understanding, the Arbiter Companion you can actually pick up from the Void Port here. Didn't see him last time I was here. So that is kind of why I'm just like, let's see if we can actually...
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
The only one is Opticon here. Okay, fair enough.
Access has been
with a respectful
reporting. The Kappa, the priesthood of the
That's the one I want. Okay, we get... Yeah. Okay, Jurgen. We are missing 2 profit factor to actually make a difference. We're at 26, so we could actually get that one. Whenever the wearer uses a non-attack consumable, Steam Medkit, it counts as an attack of a different type. Okay, so it's a versatile thing. Oh yeah, that's emergency bolt cutter. We are going to our saint, or Reverend Harmonious.
Form A/716B is valid for up to 11 hours from the placement of the stamp. You have submitted it after.
So that is the plan right now. We're going to fix that, and then we're going to continue on. No, fuck it. We're probably going to call it just doing 1 hour today. Why? Simple fact, me not feeling great. Okay.
The Emperor protects.
Okay. Sort by type. Hide the ones we can't use. If we select all, that's 17,000. No. We're not spending everything here. We are going to trade in... that many holy gifts. 6,000 points worth of holy gifts. Puts that on free. That means we can get a heavy bolter. Nice. First mini attack. Okay. So, we still have a few things we can get, like Cloak of Hatred. Each enemy killed by the wearer's area of attack increases damage by 3% until the end of the combat. That is good. chaplain there. Halfway finished. What can I actually... I want that. Okay, fair enough.
The Emperor protects.
So I need to actually increase it by one more. Sort by type, hide untradeable. Okay. We take a half of the ones we have left as well. Trade. Two more. Then okay, so we are now at 5, rank 5. Okay, we can't actually get anything more. Too bad. No, I'm not taking that to Vindicator. Okay, yeah. Add to cargo. We are now heading over to Fellowship of the Void. I don't remember if we actually had anything. The main reason why we're going Fellowship of the Void is because I don't know, I feel like it. Fellowship of the Void is pretty much the polar opposite to Lord Hermenius, or Reverend Hermenius. Surfer Skull and Eagle is not.
Welcome back.
Riza raises her glass to.
Okay. We also have a discount here, which makes stuff a lot more interesting for us to purchase. If they were already gain bonus from Hunt Down Prey, whenever they kill a target mark as prey, they gain a stacking bonus to ability. Bonus duplicates. Okay. Oak shields. So by type, what do we have here that actually is interesting for you? We need 4,000 for our next rank here. That's a lot. Out of curiosity, if we take out everything, it's 5,000, and that's not enough. It's enough, but it's not. It's not what I want to do. This is always the tricky one. We've pumped a majority of the things we have into Hermenius. No question about it. I want to keep a few of everything for the simple fact events sometimes needs certain things as well. So I don't want to sell off everything we have. One of the reasons I'm keeping the oil, for example, is I know, or Promethium, I know there's an event where you can pretty much just you can spam that and you get a, what is it? You get a ton of stuff back.
Greetings, your lordship.
And that's one of the main 58 profit factor! I forgot how fucking expensive he is. I would like that bolter though. Yeah, he's fucking expensive, that's for sure. And 6k for the first rep. The wearer successfully single attacks inflict stun. The wearer successful single attacks inflict stun on target for 1 round. Whenever an enemy attempts to make an attack of opportunity against the wearer, the enemy is pushed back 1 cell. If the wearer inflicts bleeding, burning, or toxin on the target.
Know your duty.
Yeah, you can probably... Like, I see a ton of ways to make builds that are bonkers. But most of them inflict stacking, having... To be fair, the dogmatic thing... Where it crits set stuff on fire is bonkers as well, to be honest.
Form A/716B is valid for up to 11 hours from the placement of the stamp. You have submitted it after 14 hours and 8 minutes. Your cargo registration request is denied. Access has been granted.
Okay, so we're going to sort by type. We're going to hide the non-tradable. Those go straight to you. We can sell you half our range arsenal. 1 of those. And the miscellaneous. You know, how much is it? Okay, good. We are now level 9. If the overseer... Where is the overseer? Their overseer archetype ability in the round costs 0 AP. That feels really good. I might be able to do something.
By the blood of martyrs.
Do something with that. For the simple fact that the overseer abilities cost 0. That means that the overseer abilities... That means I can probably kill stuff with the eagle fairly good. That's interesting. That might actually unlock some interesting aspects of the build. So respecking is put on hold, I guess. Until we actually get some more gear, because that might actually switch around a ton of things. Grand weapon skill. Yeah, we like that one. What do we actually have in accessories now? We gotten a fair bit more. Toughness. Gain 10 toughness. Once become what? The wear wounds. The wear gains 12 wounds. Okay, that might be good. Toughness. Medicae on you as well, I think. 5% incoming chance, versatility. Gain. We are going with those on you. We have 2 pairs of those. If the rare has 10 plus stacks of Blood Blessed, there is some way to get a ton of blood stacks, but I don't remember how you did it. I remember I actually managed to start stacking it on... you know what, the fire cape on you might actually be better. I don't remember what it was you did, but you picked something that if you critical hit someone or killed someone with it, it actually granted you a blood stack, and that meant pretty much you had some really good combos to go at. And that was kind of how you did it. You stacked the blood blessed things on her and to a ridiculous level. But I don't remember that much, honestly, on how you actually did the build at this. Senegal's trusty armor. Fair enough. Wood. Months. Okay, so we have that. Oh yeah. I forgot to do this. So if we go here, we go into the martyr, and we don't go crazy with the stuff, but we go and talk to the bartender. I didn't do this last time.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
We talk with the bartender.
The burly woman with a wealth of fiery hair is in the process of tinkering with some unknown device that is clinking melodiously. She has a rough-looking implant in place of her lower jaw. As you approach, the implant begins to move, as if independently of the rest of her face.
Welcome to the Adeptus Amicus, sir. What can Octaviana get you? Amisec. Lho. Something more interesting?
Octaviana freezes in place.
It can't be. Are you, Sister Argenta? The Sister Argenta? The one who has the worst scum on footfall shaking in their boots? The whole station is talking about you. And here you are, in the flesh, in our humble Amicus.
Argenta stops Octaviana's torrent of adoration with a calm gesture.
No more. I seek retribution against transgressors, not glory for myself.
Despite her words, you catch a glint in Argenta's eyes. You can tell she is enjoying this enraptured attention. Octaviana's expression changes dramatically when she sees Cabela.
You there. You should know that if I see one dead body around here, I'll have you thrown out of my bar with a hole in your head. Your kind don't scare me, and I'm not about to let you ruin my business by leaving corpses all over the room. You being here is already making half my clients feel less thirsty. I have heard your threat. Do not fear, if I must kill someone here, you will not find the bodies.
How are things here on Footfall?
Haven't been to our fine station for a while, have you, sir? As per usual, there's never a dull moment. Either someone's getting shot in a square, or some rich guy's going on a safari to hunt commoners in the shadow quarters. Sure, the Legion makes sure that the local shenanigans don't get in the way of business on the station, but what happens on the outskirts adds a little spice to our lives. We make do, but the real trouble is, with every passing day it gets harder to find grub. I heard that some horrors are happening in the void outside Furibundus, that not all ships are making it here, and the Liege's old patrons don't seem to be in a hurry to help. It's taking a toll on Vladame's authority, and if his authority wobbles too hard, he'll have plenty of people lining up to take his place.
Give me the latest.
This one might interest you, a tale I heard from a tipsy voidborn from a cargo barge. They exited the warp halfway between Furibundus and the Avirus system and came upon a shuttle wreck adrift. The shuttle was registered to the Inevitable Triumph, a merchant ship that disappeared decades ago. She was bound for Footfall, her cargo holds brimming with valuable goods, but she never made it. If anything at all survived the shipwreck, it could be quite the lucky find. Here's another tidbit for you. Some poor sot was here bawling about how his crew tossed out a whole shipment of cargo along with the trash, and it was his fault somehow. He hid the fact, and once they docked at Footfall, he immediately went on the run. No surprise there, had they discovered his blunder, he would have been executed. I don't know what sort of cargo it was, but the ship he served on usually goes between Footfall and Winterscale's realm. She passes the 100 Dreams Crossroads and Langren's Belt. If you happen by that area, you might want to look for whatever that idiot chucked overboard.
Okay.
That will do for now.
It's been one thing after another lately. I figured it was due for some me time. Give me a splash of your local hooch, would you?
Octaviana looks at you closely, then takes a bottle from a shelf and uncorks it. The transparent, pungent-smelling liquid quickly fills the glass that sits between you. Pasquale's respirator hisses quietly, and he says in an insinuating tone,
"The alchemical composition of this substance is known to me. But never before have I come across such an unusual application. An exquisite path of martyrdom in honor of the Omnissiah."
Take a look at it.
The glass contains a liquid that is clearly made from spent promethium. This is moonshine, virtually unfiltered, that quickly blows the drinker off their feet and, when imbibed regularly, turns their liver into a bubbling sponge.
Bucket, drink it.
The liquid burns your tongue, then your throat, then your stomach. It takes your breath away, but after a few seconds, warmth spreads throughout your body, and your head feels a little lighter than usual.
That's the second time I've seen a noble drink the octane blend without wincing, but I won't offer you any more. I've got just the thing set aside for such an occasion.
Octaviana grabs a dusty unopened bottle from under the bar and a clean glass. The amber liquid splashes against the crystal walls as she adds in a couple of black pebbles. The soft, spicy aroma tickles your nostrils.
You said I'm the second person to drink the octane blend without winching?
The first was Coligo's Winterscale. That's right, the head of House Winterscale himself used to come here often. Impressive guy. True, whenever he and his officers came through the door, the locals would find themselves a hole to hide in. Drinks weren't the only thing his lordship liked knocking back. If someone so much as looked at him funny, he'd paint the walls red.
The musk warms your throat pleasantly. You can make out a hint of spice, the flavor of an oak barrel, and a distinct earthy aroma. You feel a little more at peace, and you reach the bottom of the glass sooner than you'd like.
How about the woman that started a gunfight in the bar?
Why are you so interested? You looking into her or something?
Octaviana catches herself upon meeting your gaze and bows her head low.
Apologies, sir, me and my big mouth. I guess this is why they broke my jaw so many times.
She touched.
Octaviana, no need to deter the curious on my account. I take it as a supreme compliment when my fame compels others to talk about me. Even when they talk as if I were not here.
The dark-haired woman winks at you and laughs. Octaviana drops her voice.
Jay. You know, Jay's pretty great. She's made a name for herself here on Footfall. She's a woman who came from nothing, she follows the unwritten rules of this place, she doesn't walk all over weaker folks, and she drinks like a fish to boot. There's lots to respect. The sad thing is, it looks like she's got on the wrong side of Vladaim. And since both of them, well, I guess all three of us, have ties to the Kasbalika, there's no way out of this. Jay should get off Footfall while she still can, better to lose her business than her life.
What is this place?
You're in the oldest watering hole on Footfall, sir. The Adeptus Amazicus is the only Adeptus one can find on Footfall.
She laughs hoarsely.
I'm Octaviana. I serve drinks, lend an ear, and, if it comes down to it, quiet the rowdy ones.
She sizes you up carefully.
Folks usually come to the Amicus for either pleasure or business. Might I ask what's brought you here?
I have business here.
Where better to do business than Footfall, am I right? Business is the only thing keeping this melting pot going. If this wasn't the best place to make deals, Footfall would have been stripped clean long before now, one asteroid at a time.
Octaviana leans forward.
Sitting at this bar often puts folks in a talkative mood, and I don't see anybody paying me to keep quiet. Visits from eminent individuals like yourself boost the status of my establishment, so I can repay you by sharing what I've overheard. Some of it might help you out, in your dealings.
Old name, Adeptus Amicus. Not very reverent.
Octaviana chuckles.
What makes you say that? Do you know where you're standing? On the deck of the Martyr's Endurance, a sacred vessel that once belonged to the Adeptus Administratum. 100 years ago, the bureaucrats sent a mission here to establish a department, set up some kind of record-keeping, overhaul Footfall, and make everything here follow a billion laws to the letter. As you can see, it was the Martyr's Endurance and its inhabitants that got overhauled in the end. I don't know what happened to them, but the locals like to come here to make deals and count their money like before, in this temple of the Imperium's accountants. Over there, you can see even the sign's been preserved, partially.
I don't know how a place like this could appear in the Emperor's light.
The Emperor is always with us, sir. Did you even see the statue outside? It's kinda hard to miss, the thing is visible through every crack. The Immortal One watches over us, and since he hasn't yet blown this sorry excuse for a station to smithereens, and this bar along with it, I guess it suits him just fine.
Give me something strong.
Octaviana shows you an empty bottle and makes a helpless gesture.
I'm sorry, sir, this was the last bottle of that year. What can I say, we're all feeling the brunt of Footfall's shipment problems.
Octaviana bores her head slightly.
Until next time, sir.
With each step, I forge my
I
destiny
don't want to take
among the
Jay's
stars.
quest because that means that my character will kill her. That is one of the sad parts about it. Because it's what she's doing is heresy, and heresy is not allowed. So that's kind of why I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not picking up Jay. She is a smuggler. I like Jay Hadrin as a character when
Form
playing.
A/716B is valid for up to 11 hours from the placement of the stamp. You have submitted it
When
after
playing,
14 hours and 8 minutes. Your cargo registration request. Access has been granted to the following options: information exchange, strengthening.
When playing Heretical or playing Iconoclast, I like Hadrin a lot. But what it comes down to is we're a Dogmatic playthrough, and that means I'm an Emperor Botterer, and that means I try to uphold the Emperor's laws. And that means that stuff like killing Idera is stuff you do. Without really a second thought. So, yeah. Which is kind of sad, but at the same time, it is just a fact. What do you have to say, Henriks?
Heinrichs looks at you intently, his head tilted.
You want to discuss the nature of your mission?
Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
Okay, and we're back to our point here.
Heinrichs nods slightly.
Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time to explain the reason for my return aboard your ship.
I welcome the chance of assisting an Inquisitor with inquiries, Van Galox.
Lord Captain, your enthusiasm is commendable.
The interrogator smiles, but his eyes remain cold.
To business, then. The cult of the Final Dawn. The madmen preach their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Coronis Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain.
A chaos cult in my protectorate. Henrix, are you laying accusation against my dynasty?
Chaos treads softly, Herald. The main danger of secret cults and sects is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny, until an opportunity to sprout, grow, and bear monstrous fruit presents itself. The emergence of a cult on one of the rogue traders' planets does not mean the dynasty head himself is a chaos worshipper. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Valancius was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the warrant.
Heinrichs regards you with a probing look.
A bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions. If it is indeed so, it is in your best interests to do whatever necessary to redeem yourself, and then, perhaps, you will get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation.
Why would Ordo Xenos agent investigate a chaos cult?
You are well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Herald. Yes, initially our arrival in the Coronis Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos. But there is more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the full truth someday, but right now I ask you to display humility and patience.
The Lord Inquisitor mentioned, yeah, no, not doing that. You have spies on. I want to know more about the cult of the Final Dawn.
Chaos worshippers. Most often agents of the throne run into lone renegades stirring up the rabble. Insane prophets and hysteric visionaries preaching the end of days. A passing comet, a mutant rebellion, an onslaught of monsters. Each time they come up with a new reason why people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effort and the blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne were spent before we established the connection between those heretics. However, the cult of the Final Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune-tellers. They cleverly spread their agents all over the Coronis Expanse, disseminating heresy among honest people on the Imperial worlds. There is a certain strategy to their actions that changes whenever we get too close. And finally, they have enough military power to have had the 2 ships that we had sent after them later discovered as wreckage. The growing difficulty in making warp jumps is detrimental to us but is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery day in, day out.
Heinrich sighs.
After the events on Rykad Minories, I suspected the cult might have built its nest inside Winterscale's domain, but the latest reports indicate it is your protectorate that is harboring heretics. Being in your entourage improves my chances of getting closer to their secrets.
I've already agreed to give you a place aboard my ship. What else?
The rogue trader should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Kieva Gamma. I will then accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that have fallen into their clutches, which may very well include the blessed engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus and even the followers of the Omnissiah themselves. I will be frank, the answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually go beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destruction. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One of the systems in the Coronis Expanse is already lost. May the Emperor protect us from watching this tragedy play out again.
We met a Chaos Space Marine on Rykad Minoris. Do we risk running into his brothers?
I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later, Herald. Chaos Marines siding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently, pulling their puppet strings from a respectable distance. These traitors seldom show up alone. The best we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Chaos Space Marines in the Coronis Expanse and not an entire company.
Have enough discussing my own. I won't let anyone throw their weight around on my world, be they servants of Chaos, Xenos, or Heretic.
A commendable aspiration for a person who holds the fates of billions of people and dozens of Imperial worlds in his hands. Which is why you need to be ever more vigilant when looking for seeds of corruption on your planets, lest they sprout someday and spell doom for whatever is tangled up in their roots.
Why did your suspicion fall on Kieva Gamma?
Disjointed pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Additionally, not long ago a vessel from that world arrived on Footfall. The reports from the crew were confused and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion.
I must go about my business. Is there anything else I need to know?
Let me put it this way, you may think whatever you want of me, but my goal is not to hinder you. I am here to help you in the fight against foes you may not even be aware of. You have my word that I will provide every assistance in uprooting the heresy that has sprouted on the Von Valancius worlds while their master was away, and that I will try to be more patient with the less grievous flaws the bearers of the warrant are sometimes known to have.
Heinrichs inclines his head.
Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain.
Okay. And that's going to be it for me today. My brain is absolute fucking mush. And yeah, I don't fucking know anything right now. It's just... Anyhow, we're going to save here. And that's going to be it for today. Want to wish everyone a good night. And see you around.